Hello internet, we both know why you're here, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. This is an example of how you can use a hot glue prosthetic mold to make just like a basic gelatin prosthetic. So here I just got my face cast and some good old-fashioned modeling clay, and I did a basic sculpt of a nose, and then I went ahead and I just used this glue gun. This isn't anything special, it's just kind of like a larger size glue gun, and now this is something that I regularly do to make my gelatin molds when I'm not really trying to do anything super fancy, but that just gets the job done. So what I usually do is I make kind of a nice perimeter around the space that I'm going to be making the mold. Like really, I'm just going to need a mold of the tip of the nose, but to be safe and because I'm worried about too much gelatin running out and losing some product, I'm doing kind of a wider perimeter around where the mold is going to be made. Then I just kind of worked in sections. I tried to work quickly so that as much glue would melt together and get a really smooth surface as possible. I definitely recommend letting your glue gun kind of sit by itself for about 15 minutes so that everything comes out way faster than if you only let it sit for 5. You really want this to just gush out as much as possible and for the glue to melt into itself. As you reach sections that have already dried, pay particular attention to any potential holes. There are probably going to be holes no matter what, honestly. It seems like no matter how careful I am, there's usually at least like one little problem area, so if you have the glue to spare, I would just go ahead and go through with an extra layer just to try to have that final seal. I feel like the glue has to like shrink as it dries because I'll be absolutely certain that everything is all plugged up, and just whenever I pour the gelatin in, there's usually some little like, just something always manages to just get out. So once you have the glue on, do not touch it because it is so toasty, it's probably actually going to make your modeling clay melt a little bit or get, you know, a little bit squishier, so don't touch it, just leave it be. I went ahead and I just actually left mine alone for about 20 minutes just to be safe. The gelatin I'm using is actually homemade gelatin. If you want the recipe for that, I will put a link in the description. Once you feel that it's safe to remove the hot glue shell from your face cast, you're going to need a metal spatula or like, you know, a butter knife or something to scoop out the clay from your mold. It is going to stick in there and it's going to take you a minute to remove. I also use a cotton ball and a brush with 91% alcohol to kind of help dissolve and loosen up the rest of the clay inside of the mold so you get it as clean as possible. Then I found something like this pan holder thing to hold onto the hot glue mold. I warmed up my gelatin, I poured it in, and then I gently pressed my face cast into the mold to make sure that it would fit exactly to my face. You're going to get some spillage, so I would definitely not recommend setting your mold inside of like a towel or really just anything that might absorb it. I like the idea of doing it on the counter because anything that falls onto the counter is, you know, just gonna dry in gelatin. You can just pick it up and throw it in a bowl, and then you'll be able to reuse it again later. So I went ahead and I gave that half an hour to be certain. If there isn't too much spilling going on, then I'll let it sit by itself for 5 minutes, and then you can put it back in the freezer for 5. It solidifies really quickly in the cold. And once I was done, I carefully removed the mold with a metal spatula, removed my prosthetic, and there you go. It's that thing right there. We did it. I also decided to go ahead and just for kicks, just color match and apply and stick on my prosthetic. And I made the genius move of using a longer bristled brush with 91% alcohol on it right near my eyes, and I actually ended up getting some alcohol in my eyes, so there you go. I hope that this video opened up your mind to the possibilities of what you can do with something like this. It is affordable, it's fast, obviously it's very easy. So unless you have really complicated shapes or really intense details, like, you know, to the point where clay might get stuck inside of your mold, you can really use this for any type of prosthetic. If you have any requests for tips, tricks, or tutorials that you want in this SFX series, go ahead and comment down below. Comment it down below. If you want to continue to witness my progress learning special effects makeup, or you want to watch 3 men play a lot of video games, you should subscribe to this channel. Whatever day it is that you're seeing this, I hope you're having a good one, and I will see you the next time I do video stuff. Bye.